Hey everyone, Mike here today with some thoughts here on the Command and Conquer Remastered collection, or specifically Red Alert. I've done two videos previously on the Tiberian Dawn side of the, or half of the remaster, and so today I'll do another one on Red Alert. If you didn't watch my previous videos, no worries, I'll cover kind of everything in this one as well. But yeah, obviously if you did watch the previous video, there might be a bit of repetition here as we go through the game. So I'll load up an early mission here. This is an alternate path that I didn't take. As you see on the Allied side, I've actually done everything. Soviet side, I've done the playthrough, but I've not done the alternate paths to some of these missions. So we'll see. Probably give it a good 5-10 minutes. I don't know if I want to try and complete this mission. It is an early mission, so it shouldn't be too long, but we'll see.
Now, I have a special task for you.
So,
We are amassing for
overall,
attack on Berlin.
well, first of all, if you don't know what Command and Conquer is,
How do they say?
it's a real-time strategy, as you'll see in a second.
I want you to
This would be the second game in the franchise. The first would have been just called Command and Conquer. As future games, later games came out, people called it Tiberian Dawn as a way to refer to as the first game in the series. The Command and Conquer franchise kind of branched off in 2/3 directions. So you have kind of future-ish game being the Tiberian games. Red Alert is kind of a little bit in the past.
Construction complete.
And then I guess Generals is sort of modern day.
Building.
Yeah. They're all kind of in the same universe, but there's different time frames and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Oh hey, we got dudes
Yes, sir.
here.
Acknowledged.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So my experience with the franchise is I played these games back in the day. So I remember roughly when they came out. Maybe a year or two later for Tiberian Dawn, because that was 1993, I believe, and Red Alert was 95, maybe not 95. Yeah, I remember playing Red Alert. I remember Tiberian Dawn more on the PC side. I did play Red Alert on PC, but also PS1, so yeah. Playing RTS on console is something interesting back then. But, you know, it was playable. Like, I'm not going to complain about it. It definitely isn't as easy and as straightforward as playing it with keyboard and mouse, of course. But no, these were great games. You know, Westwood pioneered the RTS genre. So you had Dune 2, which I have played. That was kind of the game that started it all. I wouldn't call it necessarily modern in the same way that this feels like a modern RTS. So there's that. I always think it's like, oh, it's money, but no. The money ones are a different color in this game. I believe the money ones are usually kind of green tinted.
Yes, sir. Very well. Reporting.
That's what happens when you don't use the keyboard enough. There is a scatter command, which I don't remember being a thing from back in the day, but maybe it was. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't build tanks yet. Send the dogs out. But yeah, you can get to see some nice high-def graphics. You can hit spacebar and get the original ones.
Unit
So if you're into the
ready.
original
Building.
look of the game,
Affirmative.
you can definitely relive that. Which I think it's cool. I like the fact that both options
Construction
are there.
complete.
I generally prefer the newer look, but I ain't gonna complain if people
Affirmative.
say
Yes, sir.
the old look is better. Obviously, this can easily go both ways. So yeah, beyond the graphics, they did a little bit more work with the remaster.
Unit ready.
The audio
Yes, sir.
has been
Acknowledged.
redone, or the music rather has been redone. The audio as well. So they re-recorded a lot of the tracks.
Affirmative.
There are new extra songs on
Affirmative.
top of that,
Acknowledged.
which you can optionally turn on.
Acknowledged.
Like the graphics, you can go in and say, actually, I want the original soundtrack, you know, in that lower fidelity. However, you can't change that in the middle of the game. That's
Affirmative.
something you have to go and
Construction complete.
swap out in the options. But still,
Acknowledged.
the option's there. You can definitely choose if you want one or the other.
New construction options.
And
Vehicle affirmative.
yeah,
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
I appreciate having
Awaiting
the
orders.
options. Even though I personally prefer the newer stuff, having the choice between the two is great.
Insufficient funds.
You don't say. I wasn't expecting to push too much. I am
Acknowledged.
kind of
Very
poking
well.
around the
Unit
edges because
ready. Building.
I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember
Affirmative.
this mission in particular.
Affirmative.
Oh, what am I doing?
Yes, sir. At once.
Anyways, I'll give it a couple more minutes, then I'll probably just hop out and take a look at some of the other bits and pieces.
Awaiting or
So one of the things I'll point out is, even though they remastered the
Construction
graphics,
complete.
Yes,
the
sir.
Unit
gameplay
ready.
is very much the original gameplay. And so what I mean by that
Construction
is
options.
Acknowledged. Awaiting or
some of the
acknowledged.
bugs, or you know, the
Reporting.
primitive
Very well.
pathfinding that they used
Preparing.
back in the day. You got to remember, these are
Unit
old,
prepared.
really
Building.
old games,
Repair.
made to
Affirmative.
run on, you know, antiquated
Construction
PC
complete.
hardware, basically. So, you know,
Unit
the old
prepared.
the old stuff that this
Awaiting or acknowledged. Vehicle report. Acknowledged.
game was made to run
Unit
on.
lost.
Well, yeah, there's going to be some limitations, and they decided to keep that.
Unit
You know,
prepared.
that's what these games
Affirmative.
were. That's what you're going to get.
Unit repaired.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad way to go about it.
Vehicle report.
However,
Acknowledged.
the
Reporting.
plus side here is that
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
there are
Affirmative.
mods that you can load
Vehicle
up,
reporting.
which will give you some of the
Awaiting.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
improvements you may
Affirmative.
want
Reporting.
after all.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Awaiting or affirmative.
I don't know why these guys keep insisting on going all the way around, but we'll let them do their thing.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
You can see,
Yes, sir.
so this is actually
Affirmative.
the improved
Report
pathfinding,
acknowledged.
I'll point out.
Comrade.
I am running a
Acknowledged.
mod
Affirmative.
that gives me
Affirmative.
some of these
Acknowledged.
updated
Yes, sir.
features,
Acknowledged.
and it does help a lot. You
Comrade.
know, I've noticed that
Silence.
Acknowledged.
some of these
Building.
some of these units will just kind of wander around or sit there and just get shot and do nothing. Like,
Affirmative.
there's definitely a lot
Acknowledged.
more
Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
spots
Affirmative. Yes, Yes,
if I
sir.
could put it that way.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
That doesn't mean
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
the AI is
Acknowledged.
perfect
Comrade.
either, or the Pathfinder is perfect. It just
Vehicle
means that
reporting. Affirmative.
it's less than confident.
Waiting order.
Yeah,
Acknowledged.
I don't know.
Reporting.
Even when I
Vehicle
tried to
reporting.
replay
Comrade.
the original game through like OpenRA or something
Unit
something
ready.
like that,
Building.
I remember
Armed
this being
reinforcements have
Awaiting
arrived.
orders. Affirmative.
kind of frustrating back in the day.
Acknowledged.
So,
Acknowledged.
you know,
Affirmative.
to me this is super
Reporting.
unsurprising. That
Acknowledged.
oh, okay, yeah, you know, the same
Unit
Ready and waiting.
same problems I've had all these years
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
persist.
Building.
But thankfully,
New construction options.
Steam Workshop makes that
Yes, sir.
very easy to
Acknowledged.
fix.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Alright.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
And the bridges is what winds up
Yes,
killing
sir.
it.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Bridges make
Affirmative.
the
Affirmative.
make the pathfinding break pretty
Acknowledged.
easily. I
Acknowledged.
have a gap generator.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Awaiting
Cool.
orders.
Well, you get an idea of
Affirmative.
what this game's all about. What I'd be planning to do now is a couple planes and hit. There's a, I believe that's power up there, but at least take that out so they can't get money easily. And then I would probably think about building a third.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yeah, I'd probably build a third refinery,
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Skyway ready.
and then that way I could sell
Acknowledged.
one of
Ready.
them.
Building.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
And then
Affirmative.
by selling one of the
Awaiting
refineries.
orders. Yes, sir.
Just go
Affirmative.
harvest up there, dude.
Reporting.
Yeah, I'd do something
Acknowledged.
kind of like this.
Acknowledged.
I'd say, oh, you know what? Let's actually deal with these guys
Building.
first while we're at it.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
And
Select target.
so much up there. Ah, there's a construction
complete.
yard. Oh, and there's some of the other stuff too. So that means there's going to be a rear entrance
Repair.
down here, which is
Yes, sir.
probably where I want to
Affirmative.
come from.
Training. Our base is under attack.
Oh, I lost my.
Unit ready. Cannot deploy.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I lost my kennel at one point.
Building.
Anyways, like I said,
Construction
this should be
complete.
enough to give you an idea of what this game's all about,
Construction
anyways.
options.
And so we'll go ahead and quit there. You can save missions if you want. There's
Battle control.
options for
terminated.
that. You can run different save games for different missions as well, which is fun. You can also choose 3 different difficulties. Anything you've completed, you can go back and rewatch the intro and completion videos as well. So in case you misclick and skip a video, you can go back and watch that. Yeah, in terms of options, we'll take a look at that super quick. You can choose between legacy and modern controls, or kind of a hybrid of both. I've never been able to adapt to right click in Command and Conquer. I grew up playing this game this way. That's just how Command and Conquer games have been. However, I have no problems playing modern RTSs, right? So this is very much a, oh yes, left click is a Command and Conquer thing, and I don't know. I tried the right click and it didn't work. So I've gone back to that, but everything else I like some of the modern options here. In terms of graphics, there's not a whole lot going on. You got to remember these are ancient games made to run on DOS. Audio here, kind of what I was talking about earlier. You have classic or remastered. So as they say here, The original person who did the voices, she redid all the voices for this game. It sounds pretty much the same, except obviously clearer. So same with the sound effects. And then for the music, well, you have the classic tracks, you have a remastered version of these tracks, and then there's bonus, which is a combination of the remastered tracks plus extra new tracks. And so there's some additional ones that were either hidden or not included in the original game. You can come in here and choose what kind of tracks you want. There's a lot of them. Oh, remastered. Oh, it's because okay. I still need to choose a game. But here's some new bonus tracks, for instance. And then here's the original tracks. And then, obviously you can go in and choose the originals. Key bindings, if you're into that, you can use them. I don't tend to use them because I've never played Command and Conquer that way, so I probably should use them, but I don't. So this does have Steam Workshop support. The in-game workshop thing here is fine, but not great. But you can find all sorts of stuff, original soundtrack from the newer games if you want. I'm running the super cheats. You can see it cuts off a lot of the description. There's a lot more text here that you don't get to see. But for this game, I was running the more quality of life improvements. Whereas in CFE Patch Redux is what I was using for Tiberian Dawn. Which I think is a little bit better than the QL upgrades, since CFE does add a couple extra features that I would have liked. But yeah, you can see like some of these things, like the zoom levels, additional zoom levels, modern wall building. Like a lot of these are included in either the CFE or the QL. So the veteran stuff is in CFE. The other thing too is CFE has options. You can go in, and not in game, but you can go to the folder and modify some of the features and stuff. Yeah, there's better pathfinding, there's waypoints and attack move and so on and so forth. But you can also get some other interesting stuff. Instant capture if you're used to older Command and Conquer Tiberian Dawn style capturing. Better truck AI, again, that's a feature of some of these patches. Pixel perfect. I was gonna say, yeah, I remember this being a thing. Where I think the mod that I'm using now doesn't let me do it, but I remember CFE lets you pretty much zoom all the way out. So anyways, that's what I ran. I played through the game with this enabled. I could see a little bit more info there. I like the super cheats mod. You want to stomp through levels and just have fun, you can do that too. But it's a great package. And I think the one last thing I want to show off is, remember the original install screen of the game? Yeah. And they do a thing where they bump up the resolution and sound card tests and all sorts of fun stuff. Bunch of behind the scenes pictures and videos. You get to see all the green screen stuff when they're trying when they're recording some of the in-game stuff. There's unreleased or demo songs, so that one's a demo. It's an unreleased track. you know, testing out a 1950s vibe is what they're saying. There's a whole description talking about it. Yeah, you know, they've got some of the tapes that they found in storage because they're hoping to be able to actually find like the original recorded footage, but unfortunately they were never able to find it.
How long did it take to get
Everything that they found was basically the original on the left, and so they went through different remastering processes to try and give it a little bit better look. It's definitely better, but it's also not great, so yeah, I can't complain though. I think at the end of the day, if EA knew how well it had done after the fact, or knowing how well it has done now, they may have wanted to step in and say, "Oh, you know what? Let's get some actors and try and recreate the original stuff." But you know, I don't think they were sure about how well this was going to do. So, you know, why spend a lot of money doing that stuff when you're you think it'll do well, but you don't expect it to necessarily do super well, right? Yeah, it's a great bundle. It includes the Retaliation expansion pack, or Counter-Strike rather, expansion pack. I like the way some of these are structured. So I started the Greece mission. They all kind of sequentially follow each other. Red Alert's an interesting game. It does feel a bit quicker to play than Tiberian Dawn. It's also a little bit more ambitious with, you know, some weird level arrangements to kind of be like a the inside of a building kind of thing. There's a couple of instances of that. And then yeah, there's the hidden ant stuff. And then there's user maps. If you want to pick up a bunch of user maps, there's tons of those as well. But I think we'll wrap it up here. I've gone on pretty long on this game. I think overall Red Alert is still a really good game. I've got a soft spot for Tiberian Dawn. But playing through Red Alert is like, yeah, okay. You could see all the improvements they've done, all the iterations they've done. And I think a lot of people remember Red Alert 2 especially as being the game. But again, I prefer Tiberian Sun. Not to say Red Alert 2 is bad. It's a phenomenal game. But I feel like it went just a little overboard. Just a little bit. But anyways, wrap this up here. This was the Command and Conquer Remastered Collection, more specifically the Red Alert half of the bundle. Great games. If you played them back in the day and you enjoy them, you probably already picked this up. For those of you who've never played old RTSs, well, you know what to do. Grab this, maybe try out the first mission or two, and then after that, hop onto the mods and look at getting one of a couple different mods, I suppose. The CFE patch will give you most of the stuff you might want, and it makes the experience a little bit better overall. So, with that said, I'll see you guys next time.